guy, and everyone plays like tall guys to defend the headers.
Well, let's have a deeper dive at Abu Makkah and see how he got to this top 8. It was a really solid couple of performances from him. We've known about him for a long time. We've seen him in the FC Pro Open. We saw him at last year's World Championships. But this win against Tex, it went to penalties and he held his nerve. We've seen Saudi Arabian world champions before. We've had 2, Mr. Dunn, MS Desari. Could we be looking at a 3rd this year, Mo?
Yeah, I think so. I like his game style. He searched the offense, he wants to score goals, and in the first day he struggled, but in the second day he performed so good. He was one of the best players yesterday, so I expect him to win this game.
Expect him to win, that's Mo's prediction. It's not going to be tough because he's up against the pride of Morocco, XcharifX.
When the pressure goes out, I just started to cry like a crazy man because I was too emotional. And the match was so stressful. My coach also was screaming and crying like me. We were on a very stressful mood. So after the match finished, we just started both to cry. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself, being on the top 8 of the world, and it's already just my first experience on the FC Pro World Championship, and first time Morocco is eligible to play this year. So now I'm on the top 8 and I'm on the top of the world. Today I play Abu Makkah, who's again a close friend of mine. Abu Makkah is so good at passing and going from the wing. I will try everything tomorrow to defend him. Starting from now, I feel that I'm really unstoppable. Winning this tournament will mean the best moments in my life.
Okay, it's nearly time, Ryan, for the quarter-finals of the FC Pro World Championship. How are you feeling?
We're moments away. I'm nervous. I couldn't even imagine how the players are feeling, but I'm sure they'll be excited as well because this is what they've dreamed of.
9-minute halves, 90 minutes,
Yep.
extra time and penalties, potential for penalty shootout if we need it. The games are going to be tight. There's going to be a lot of goals. $250,000 and a chance to win this trophy. Let's get on with it.
If I'm gonna play good today, I'm gonna lift the trophy.
I know, I can do this.
Well then, we've done 3 days already here in Berlin, but it's all come down to this day, the big day, where we will be crowning a world champion in just a few hours' time. Before that though, we have 8 players that potentially are all dreaming to pick up that special trophy here in Berlin. And we kick it off with these first 2 incredible quarterfinals. Starting at Anders Vejrgang against HHezerS. 2 players that last played last year in a qualifier. They've not matched up since, but this is a different sort of game, isn't it, Gravison?
It's a completely different type of a game because this is the World Championship we're talking about. So I'm excited, of course, because this is the final day of the tournament, quarterfinal on. I mean, I don't know what to think. Anders probably the favorite coming into this match, but HHezerS has more predicted, top 4. It's just one step ahead, but again, Anders probably the biggest name in the whole competition. It's gonna be tough because from the group stage and round of 16, he has played, would you say, perfect FC at the moment?
I would say yes. Like, I couldn't even think about the mistake. The only mistake he sometimes did was he was not that clear in front of the goal, but still he played perfect. Like, I've never seen such a great performance from him. Of course, he's one of the best and he played really good over the last years, but in this tournament, he just played perfect.
I agree with him.
I was going to say,
perfect.
Remember on top of that, guys, that this man won the World Championship 2 years ago on a penalty shootout, $250,000. The difference is this year, though, if you win the World Championship, you don't just get the cash, you don't just get the trophy, you get your own Icon SBC in the game for you at home to maybe get your hands on. I mean, I believe there's 6 different icons that are available for these guys to choose out of. If you're at home right now and you're watching the broadcast, let us know in the chat which player you would choose to go into the Icon SBC, because let's be honest, Graf, that is some serious power, isn't it, for the FC community?
Of course. Could you imagine picking up an SBC and then playing with him? And not only that, let's just say you're playing champs and then someone beats you using that player. Could be fun, but let's see. Players are prepared. HHezerS and Anders seems to be doing some changes in tactics. As you can see, they're waiting on the screen there to play. And I mean, the trophy's right there. You can see it, and it's Umut, it's just so close, but so far as well.
Yeah, it's just like, I think 3 hours to play. It's just today. Today it can be like his best day in his life, but today can also be one of the worst days, because if you're here, if you're in the top 8, if you're one of the finals, one of the favorites, you just want to win. And I think if Anders also loses here or just get top 4, he just still will be disappointed, because of course top 4 is good.
But
Top 4 best players in the world,
but it's not the title.
It's not enough for him.
It's not the title.
But what do you think, Graf? HezerS is not playing with the coach. You see Anders is playing. Next to him is Seratinho. But yeah, HezerS, I think, one of the only one who don't have a coach.
I don't think I remember a player who played here in the round of 16 who wasn't playing with a coach. Only HezerS, and it's interesting because he does really seem like he's not a person who maybe changes game styles. So let's just say he has a game plan when he's playing, maybe game plan A or B. He changes between those, but it's not like he's a player who just changes for another option. So I do think that he's just coming here to play. Yes. He doesn't care about really the way Anders plays. He's gonna play his game style, and if it goes well, he's gonna win. But I do think, Umar, I don't know if you agree, I would always love to play besides a good coach in this situation, because it can help you. This is when you're heading to extra time, it can give you that little motivation or that little experience for a change that can lead up to a win.
Yeah, I also think like the coach also helped you to set up it before the game. What is Anders doing? Maybe HezerS know what Anders is doing, but it's so hard to defend. And I think if you play against someone like Anders, you just have you can't just play whatever you play like against different opponents, because he's so good and he's so strange. Also, you just have to adapt your play style on him. You just have to change a little bit. But maybe HezerS know what you do, and maybe he just know what he wants to change, and maybe he will change the right things without the coach.
I just wanted to talk about very quickly. Well, we had Anders Vejrgang's prize winnings on the screen. You've got to remember, this guy's 18 years of age. If he was to go the full way here tonight, he would pick up over $600,000 in prize earnings at 18 years of age. I mean, Umut, you've won a lot of cash. What's the number? Is yours is over 300,000-400,000. You've been a German champion, you've been a world champion, you've had some great runs in the E-Champions League. But that young, to earn that sort of money from this space just shows how dominant he's been. And remember, he only picked up his first individual trophy last week. This has all been sort of team efforts, 2v2 with you in the club championships.
Yeah, he just competed, I think last year was his first year of competition. So he just had last year and this year's not even over, because we just still have tournaments, and we just have the biggest tournaments now, so it's the chance to win the most money now, and that just shows how crazy he is and how consistent and how much money he won.
Well then, this is the start of a day to remember in this FC Pro Open World Championship, the first of its kind, a $1 million tournament that's been playing out across these last 4 days here in Berlin, the home in Germany. And there are 8 players left, all from different parts of the world. And they've certainly all been on very different journeys. The only player that's been in this scenario before is Anders Vejrgang. It was a top 8 last year. The difference is, though, Gravison, that I want to speak about, the players that he has lost to, and there's not many of them for Anders, they're all not here. Levi Finn, he's not here. Johnny, he's not here. He beat him yesterday. PH In, the arch enemy from the FC Pro Open final, he's not here. He got eliminated. Obrun, he's not even here this year. This could be one of the best brackets he has, and maybe biggest chances to go the full way.
Wow, thought that was going to be a penalty. But yeah, as we know, Obrun is a really good friend of HezerS, so probably in the hotel they did have a little chat about the way he can beat Anders, because probably Obrun is one of the toughest players for Anders. But I do feel like Obrun's game style is so different from HezerS, it cannot apply really, Umut.
Yeah, I also think like Anders just don't like to play against Obrun. I don't know why, but I think he's the best opponent against Anders. He's every time doing really well. But as you said, Gravison, he's playing so different to HezerS. He's just a different player. Also, if he's friend with Obrun, also if he's from the same country, but still, like, it's just so crazy different. And I think HezerS can't adapt to play like Obrun just for this game.
I think one thing on that as well, Graus, in the same breath, is the reason why Obrun always gives him a good game is because you're playing a mental battle when you play against Anders Vejrgang. Whether he might be doing a celebration in game, or he might be just trying to press you like mad in different scenarios. A lot of players can deal with 45 in-game minutes of that, 60 minutes in-game of that. Some players can't deal with 2 legs of that, as what we saw last year, and Oberon was able to do that. He didn't crack, he was there, he stood strong. Here comes Anders now, wins himself his first corner. The question is HHezerS going to be able to also stay calm and collected? Maybe not. 10 minutes in, and it's the aerial blast that comes back to haunt HHezerS in this scenario. It's his first corner. It's Erling Haaland, it's time green. You know what that's all about. It's been a constant meta so far this year in FC 24, and we're seeing it again on the biggest of stages, Graf.
And this all comes from a good press from Anders. I think this is something we've been talking about from group stage, yesterday with the round of 16, and now with quarterfinals again. It all came with the press. He player switched into the midfield, intercepted a pass, and then he got a chance. It was a corner, and he scored. But again, Umut, I feel like we're talking about this every single time, but he presses so good with Hullit, with Bellingham, and he takes the ball back.
Yeah, that's the point we mention all the time, that yeah, he was doing that really great. Also, the corner after that was really great, but as you said, he just get this chance only because his pressure, only because he pressures so well, and it's so hard to get in his half. Like, now we see HHezerS also playing again, but it's hard to play. Like, you see, no one is free. It's so hard to play against Anders. He's so good in pressure, and if he's confident, if he knows what he's doing, if his player switching is perfect, it's so hard to score.
Well, I caught up with an interesting conversation before we went live, and it was HHezerS basically saying, bro, I heard you commentating yesterday against Levi Finn, and you didn't, you know, you disrespected me, his words were. Obviously, he forgot the obvious fact that Levi Finn is your teammate of RB Leipzig. Gave him finesse from distance! Oh, calm down! Oh, we've only just got started! And there's Vejrgang 2-0 up. And time green finesse from 30+ yards. That is a way to introduce yourself to this championship finals day.
I'm confident this is the first time I've seen Anders finesse from that distance. I don't know, it seems like it's always inside the box for a green time, but this time he went for a finesse with Saka, placed out plus.
Yeah, of course, I also know like how Anders prepared for this tournament, and he just started to learn new things. He just started the first goal. In the last year, he would never score a corner goal. Never, never, never. He just played every corner short, and everyone was telling him, you need to learn corners. And also, he need like to learn the play styles, because you have to learn this year. The play styles in EAFC are so important, and you can see with Saka, such an easy goal, just green time finish in the right position. He do that crazy well.
This is a brilliant storyline about Anders not only playing the game at its best, but learning play styles.
Yeah.
And when he's managing that and corners as well, is someone gonna be able to stop him? I don't think so.
Well, you probably saw it. His chance starts coming in. He's not going to be on for a third, is he? Well played. A little bit of goalkeeper movement there from HHezerS was needed. Otherwise, it could have been 3-0 down in 20 minutes. Quick corner comes in. Edem Militao able to stop him. Just wanted to talk a bit more about Anders' team, because it was spoken about a lot. I mean, look, it's an interesting back line, but before we went live today, Graus, you said it's got to be one of the best defensive lines we've seen. I mean, Hoslu's in as a right back. Yeah, that is Hoslu, the striker. John Stones comes across as a left back, and it's Kanate and Virgil van Dijk. Could be a chance for 3!
Wow.
This is dangerous now for HHezerS. He's 3-0 down in 22 minutes. He can't move. He can't function. He just can't even get a hold of this game.
You were talking about defenses, and in this instance he was using McTominay as a right back, who's probably not the quickest one, maybe.
Yeah.
He got right out of position.
But Graf, you also see the timing of Anders. Exactly in the moment where HHezerS takes Van Dijk and wants to go on his player. Exactly in this moment he just passed, and this timing is just crazy.
Just saw a few shots there as well. Anders Vejrgang's mum in the crowd. She can't be more proud of what her son's been able to achieve across the last number of years since he's been eligible to compete in this scene. 11 years of age is when he played in his first tournament out in Denmark. He was travelling around sports halls, competing for controllers, headsets, keyboards, anything but money. This time he's playing for a jackpot of $250,000 at just 18 years of age. Still a long way away from it, but if a win here, it would be $70,000 guaranteed with a top 4. in this year's World Championship. Is he on for a fourth? Reversal has to go! Into a 4-0 lead. And we haven't even hit the 30th minute. HHezerS could just laugh. That's all he can do at this point.
What can you do, really? He did everything. This is the fourth goal. It's the fourth different kind of goal. So we got a corner, we got a finesse, we got also counter-attack, and now you got a play in which you recycle, pass it back over reverse elastic on score. He did everything, 4 different goals.
And you see him just saying, I'm so good, and he's also pushing himself, and he just played perfect. As you asked me before that match, the last days, did Anders play perfect? I said, I think yes, and now he's playing perfect again. It's just 30 minutes, and he's leading 4-0. It's just crazy.
How do you think he comes into these games with him as a teammate of him for quite a few years now? And he just seems numb to the pressure of this game. Where we are here in Berlin, the crowd, it just seems like he's in his own world. He could just zone in.
Yeah, he loves this pressure. I mean, like, I think if he would play this match online, just at his home, I think he would play much, much worse. He wouldn't play at that level. But if he has this crowd, if he has this motivation to play, he's just unstoppable, and he's so good, and it's... Like,
surely not enough!
Oh, come on!
Bukayo Saka makes it 5-0 in this quarter-final.
Really, what else can you do if you're HHezerS? Just laugh about it, because how he opens up the angle with the ball roll, it's crazy. And again, the play styles.
Yeah.
They come into play. Not only the finesses come into play, the trivelas. Now he's been able to just control dribble with Saka inside the area, open up the angle with a ball roll. Again, another goal. It's just, what amazes me is 5 different kind of goals. So different, and it seems like he's dominated everything, really.
Yeah, I mean, he learned everything now. I think the only one that he's not using that much, if you also look at his center mids, we don't have any player with long ball. Gullit and Bellingham both don't have the long ball trait, so he never used it. So that's the only thing that he could learn, maybe, but he's playing perfect also without that. So I think he don't need to learn that.
I think that was the first shot we've seen from HHezerS.
First one, yep.
In this quarter-final. Wins a corner.
Let's go.
I mean, I dare to ask, you at a quarter-final, Gravison, you're 5-0 down in 35 minutes, to try and keep yourself together mentally and not crack. And I mean, look, there's an obvious task in front of your screen that you're playing Anders, and he's got a 5-0 lead against you. I've never seen him drop a 5-0 lead.
Never. I mean, Umut always talks about this, how if you constant press against Anders, you'll concede a lot of goals. And you can see that HHezerS is panicking now at the moment. Not only because of the driven pass he just made, but the first time shot from Cruyff didn't make any sense, really, as well. So, I mean, the pressure can get to you. You're here in the biggest stage, probably the biggest game of your life. You played it against Anders, this version of Anders. The pressure can get to you.
But Graf, if you would be Anders, would you change anything? I mean, it's perfect, but you don't need to do anything more. You just don't need to score that many goals. You just need to be clean sheet. Normally, you also could hold more possession, but would you change anything? Would you change your playstyle or play the same?
I'll play the same if I'm Anders, because he's playing well. And not only he's playing well, HHezerS has only shot once, and it was the first time, which didn't make any sense, really. So why changing things? You're playing perfect FC at the moment. You're leading 5-0. You got to keep going.
Well, he said yesterday in an interview with Case after the game that he wanted revenge for his teammate and Levy Finn. And I'll tell you what, he might have just got revenge and a bit more than that. Yes, there's still plenty more time to play. 9-minute halves this year. Chance for R9, went for a power shot. And to answer that question as well, of what you would change, I think we know Anders here. All he's going to do is just try and double that lead.
He will never stop.
And try and make it even more convincing than it already is. Nice step over XcharifX. This has to go. It does. It's a building block. Yes, potentially an impossible task in front of him. But a goal before half-time will just regain something, Gravison, in the final third to be like, look, I'm in a top 8 for a reason. I'm in this game. And there's still a lot of time to be played.
You can see Anders' applause. sportsmanship given to HHezerS because it was a beautiful goal. And again, it was a beautiful use of the playstyles. The first touch, playstyle plus from R9, puts into the right position, the step over, then you open up the angle with the ball roll. And again, the finesse as well because of the finesse playstyle plus. Again, brilliant goal, but he has to keep going. I feel like for the last 5 to 10 minutes, HHezerS is playing much, much better. He did have a power shot as well, but it's just those first 15, 20 minutes, they were too much for him to handle.
Yeah, I also think like HHezerS is crazy in the attack. I also could imagine like that he score more goals and that he also can score maybe 3 or 4 goals. But I think like that he don't concede any goal anymore against Anders in one half, 9 minutes per half, and he has to open. He has to press. I think that is not possible.
And still at 5-1.
He's angry. He's leading 5-1.
How can he not be happy with that performance? He still demands so much more from himself. 5-1 at the break, as we said. Anders Vejrgang is leading HHezerS. Guess what? We're not going to stop there, though, here at the FC Pro World Championship. We're going to kick off another quarter-final as well. He had all the support yesterday online, all the way in Morocco as well. We heard 20,000 Moroccans are watching on another stream. He's going to be in action. XcharifX against Abu Makkah. Also, the Saudi fans, Grav, they love him. They feel like maybe he could be that next Asari coming through.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not only the way he's been playing in these World Championships. Also, we talk about FC Pro back in the days, just 6 months ago, I did some research. I didn't remember that he just was this close to beating PH in the quarterfinals.
But still, was there last year in the World Championship. So much to come from this game. Let's tease up now. It's XcharifX against Abu Makkah next.
أطمح للجاي وأطمح إني أكون البطل وأكون الرقم 1 في العالم.
I'm on the top of the world.
Well, here they come then. As our other matches in half-time, we will welcome out our next quarter-finalists. Abu Makkah representing Team Falcons and Saudi Arabia up against Raja Casablanca's finalists, Moroccan's finest, XcharifX, who has already been making waves online as well. He's already made history being the first Moroccan to play in a World Championship. And look, he's had to go the long way around here as well, Gravison. He wasn't given a 32-player ticket. He had to turn up and play in the play-ins, which meant he's played 4 more matches than anyone else in this competition.
I had the chance to talk to Fer, which is Nicolas' coach, just a few hours before the show started. And he told me when Nicolas was training with Charif back, let's say 4 days ago before playing, he thought Charif had a really proper chance of not only qualifying for the group stage, but getting out of the group stage because of the player switching and because of the way he left stick dribbled. And it feels like Fer told me that Charif's left stick dribbling was one of the best he's seen this year. So I do feel like he's lacking some things in defense, but if he gets that fixed, for sure he can get to the top 4.
Yeah, but also if we've seen like the match from Abu Makkah against Tex, if we remember, I think it was maybe 7-7, 6-6. So if Charif just continue, like how good he is in attack, I think he also can score many goals against Abu Makkah. But yeah, Abu Makkah is also really good in attack, so that will be a tough match. And you also think there will be many goals, Robson?
I do think it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be 5-5, 6-6. It's going to be one-sided, but I do think we're going to see a lot of goals because Abu Makkah's defense is good, it's decent, but Charif's ones, I think he needs to step it up a little bit.
Back to this one now, Anders on for another 6-1. And if there was any doubt, you can think again. 5-goal cushion reinstated in this quarter-final.
It's unlucky because Van Dijk was battling with Haaland, and that's why the other player was onside. The dribble pass was there, and I do think HHezerS' defense wasn't bad per se, but yeah, the player switch wasn't that good, and it seems like the game, I'm not going to say it's done, but 6-1 Anders, that's a tough mountain to climb.
And can we talk about it a bit more as well, Women, because there is a lot of people in the community asking right now, are they actually seeing Hoslu as a right back? Chance for HHezerS, big goal back for him, 6-2, still a 4-goal deficit between the two. Explain the Hoslu scenario for those that might not be aware of the meta that we're following here in the FC Pro scene.
Hoslu is he's really tall. He's 193, I think. And yeah, he got aerial plus, so you just use him as a right back to don't concede any headers from Weghorst or Haaland. I think it's a good option for Anders because it's so hard to just outplay him, to just score normal goals. And if you're not able to cross because Hosulu is on the side, you just don't have the chance like to score any headers. And this one is yeah, really important for Anders. And of course in attack he's also good. I mean, he has not the best defense stats. He got like 84, I think, something like that, and no defense play styles, I think. But he's crazy in attacking. He has good step overs and of course aerial plus.
Well, we have just kicked off that other quarter-final matchup now between Abu Makkah and XcharifX. Could be an early start there. Schmeichel comes out and grasps the ball. We will keep you up to date with that game. As we said, we are 60 minutes in front over here, so still plenty of time to give you a lowdown on both of those matches. Anders on the hunt for a 7th. Mbappe, can he turn? Runs into Edem and a towel. He had a very different journey, Anders, to be to this point. Only had to play 3 games to get here. It was an opening win 2 days ago against Ekman of Club Bruges, who came through the play-ins. It was a 6-3 win. And beating Nacho Bay of Real Oviedo, and yesterday took down the giant, this Johnny, to get into this quarter-final stage. We are going to jump over now to this game. XcharifX against Abu Makkah. One of them two will be continuing to write history for themselves to a spot in the semi-final. That first shot does come in, it's a corner. There goes the way of XcharifX. Flick on! For a goal kick.
This all started with the left stick dribbling with HHezerS, which opened up the angle for a passing to R9. It seems like the left stick dribbling from XcharifX is beautiful at the moment.
We want to hear from you at home as well. It's clear to see where the love is coming from the stream. Saudi fans, Moroccan fans, all pushing their 2 players on to make some history today. Lofted in all the way, it goes across, out for a corner. Not sure how Weghorst didn't connect with that one. Quick corner comes in, Abu Makkah saved at the back post. Can he keep it in? Konate can. And that's the time. Just to move the ball back around again to recycle it back in. Weghorst, R9 can't find anywhere past that back line.
Great press.
XcharifX, but the possession still falls the way of the Saudi Arabian. The MBS winner, that's how he got his ticket here to the World Championships. Little lofted pass, it should be readable for John Stones, and it will be.
One thing that's beautiful about the way Abu Makkah plays and attacks is the... Ooh, he's through.
Can he beat through? Is he onside? Haaland all the time in the world. Could it be an early start for him? Yes! Just about. I thought it would work. It was about to go out, but it isn't. It's Raja Casablanca's XcharifX that leads by a goal to 0 in his quarter-final, and it all came from that ball there, and it was a long ball, but Haaland just kept on running.
Yeah, I think he sent it Haaland earlier, and he played this long ball with R9. I think Abu Makkah didn't expect it because R9 didn't have any play styles for long ball, so he didn't select his player early, and he didn't press R9, and XcharifX just went through.
One thing I'm going to talk about is, because Umut probably won't talk about this, Umut created this meta back in 2022 with the way you were making those runs with Haaland, with the midfields, and now 2 years later, it's still OP, it's still people using it, but you discovered it, Umut. It was you, 2022.
Yeah, I was one of the guys.
Just quickly, could be on for a second, cuts it back inside R9. Eventually he's defended.
I was one of the guys who used it a lot. Like, I think back in the years it was just stronger, these long balls, if you just send players. And now we got different long balls. It's more like Johnny is playing, like to send your wing back through and to just come over the lines. But I think sometimes if the opponent doesn't expect it, you can also send Haaland or R9 for a long ball. And yeah, as we see, it's just a really, really easy goal. He didn't have to do anything like special, but just easy and effective.
Abu Makkah on the hunt for a way back in this game. It was only a few weeks ago, wasn't it, Amit, where you actually played against Abu Makkah in another competition.
Yeah.
Had a tight game against him. I mean, what was it like playing against him? What are some of the the intricacies that Abu Makkah tends to have?
I think he's playing really basic. In this tournament, I played against Sharif in the round before, and then I played against Abu, and yeah, he was just doing really well. He was trying to get on his CDMs, to just pass on his strikers, and he was really good in skilling and also in
Should be on side.
Oh.
To save that one was from Schmeichel.
As you were explaining the way he attacks, he did that attack, it was really close to scoring. It seems like what Abu Makkah does really is fundamentals.
Yeah.
He got them right.
But you also see Davis as a center mid for Abu Makkah. You think like, I've never seen that before, right?
Never.
I think he's the only one. I think he's playing left center mid with Davis, who's also going as a left mid if Sharif has the ball. So maybe he's better in defense as a left mid.
Could make sense, yeah. And on his fast 99 pace, obviously.
Yeah, long
really
ball.
quick.
There's this
But 99 dribbling as well, which probably make him a little bit agile. Midfield 3.
Nice press. This could be dangerous.
Look at Ronaldinho and Mbappe on the left-hand side of your screen. Mbappe will try and trigger his run. I'm not sure what that was on terms of play a lot, but then brought a skill move out from Ronaldinho. Still is in possession though. This is the Moroccan, fit the player lock on perfectly. Canate well defended. Even has time to take his heads off there, whilst mid-attack. I wouldn't risk that normally.
I mean, he's in the game for top 4, and it seems like he's playing for champs just for his
ref! HHezerS, you are one lucky man.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that, because
it looked like a lunge grab, a long lunge.
That's poor control by Stones. That's the thing, if you're attacking with Stones, probably controls, the first time touches are going to be weak. But Davis is interesting. Reminds me of Areguara back in, let's say, last year, 2 years ago. So left-footed player in that position.
Yeah, he's just really tall. He's good in defense, and I think just everyone just plays with one fullback. It's offensive, and the other one is just staying back. And I think Stones is really good to just stay back, to just win tackles, to just win headers. I think he's perfect for that position.
We're going to catch the closing stage of our first quarter-final, which is going to be concluded. It is still 6-2. There's been no difference in the scoreline. And the headline news here, Grav, that HHezerS was 4-0 up within 30 in-game minutes of this quarter-final. He has not seemed fazed at all by the big stage here in Berlin.
We can see if he's going to score another one. Yeah. Yes, he does. That's a brilliant step over. Not only a normal step over, a directional one, which he uses them a lot, and brilliantly. And I mean, it's just the way he opens up the angle. He goes for a shot. 7-2, game done and dusted. And he shushes as well.
You said yesterday, Omid, that HHezerS was playing superb. It seems like he's somehow found another level today.
I think he's just playing like the last days. I mean, he played in the last days perfect. Now this game is perfect. And if he continue like this, I really don't know who's going to stop him. He's just playing crazy.
Well, 5 in-game minutes left of this one. We have heard of a big roar as well. There's been a big goal, bottom of your screen. I'm sure the Moroccans that are tuned in will be going crazy, because he leads by 2 goals to 0 now. What a story this is starting to become now. First year he's been able to compete. Comes through the Moroccan Iboltola League with Raja Casablanca. He had to go the long way around the play-ins, and as it stands, he could be on his way to be into a semi-final. HHezerS looking for a consolation if he can find it. Still can't find a way past HHezerS, but what a story there, Grav, that's building in our other game.
And if we focus about the gameplay, that was a brilliant first player lock to open up the angle. And then he went for another quick player lock into the cross, which even though it was Stones against Haaland, which was Playstyle Plus against Playstyle Plus aerial, Haaland is just unstoppable in those situations. That's 2 goals from Haaland. The first one, which was the counter-attack, and now the header.
But you think the player lock, like the second for the cross, changed anything? You think you didn't think like he just could like cross normal without the player lock?
I think he could have crossed normally, yeah, but he did it. It was nice, it was beautiful,
Yeah.
and it worked.
And maybe it's also nice to get your fingers warm for player lock because he's using it a lot.
Well then, full-time result. And the headline news here from Berlin is we have our first semi-finalist. Handshake between the two. But it was an impressive start in the first half from Anders. An even more convincing performance as well. 7 goals to 2. And he sends himself into the semi-final stages. Let's not hang about for too long because we've got another game that is very much underway as it currently stands. And here's Sharif that leads by 2-0 over there. He's had the best start in the first half. We're about to go into half-time. Abu Makkah trying to make the most of that one. Well, we haven't had a great deal of time to talk about this game in detail, but first and foremost, Grav, we've seen it in little bits and bobs. You said the gameplay elements were brilliant from XcharifX. It seems like right now, no matter what he does, he's going to be loved for what he's done. He's already qualified for a World Championship. He's already made history. Just keep dreaming. Just keep going. At the moment, he's doing that.
I mean, it really, when you get to the top 8 and you were an eligible country last year, it seems like every single match is a gift, really. So in this situation, what I want to mention is how I mentioned how he wasn't defending as good these last few days. Today, the player switching into the center backs for the tackle has been brilliant. And I don't think I remember Abu Makkah having a clear chance. And it seems like the offside trapping is really good. And then when he switches into the center backs, nice tackles. He's defending perfectly.
Well, you're speaking a lot about how good he's been defensively. Someone else has been keeping a close eye on the actions. Our very own Ryan Pissarro. Ryan, what have you made of it so far in this game?
Thanks, Brandon. I agree with everything Gravison has said. Sharif's been defending fantastically, but offensively as well is where he stood out as we take a look at his first goal in this game. As the clip plays on, pay attention to Erling Haaland here, who's triggered. And then you'll see here, the ball gets to Arnan. If he can freeze it here perfectly, there's a few options what he can do. Of course, the triggered run is the one he goes for, but a lot of players will look for the passes. You've got Mbappe here in support. You've got Ronaldinho near Ronaldo for a pass as well. And of course, Arnan Ronaldo doesn't really have the greatest passing play styles, if any, at all. So his pass is a little bit unorthodox as the clip plays on. It sets Haaland, who's perfectly in on goal, and it's down to Sharif now. Does he keep composed? Does he trust himself and be decisive? And that's exactly what he done. Celebration to match with his coach as well. And of course, he knows it's a big second half to play. And of course, let's head on back to the castle to see it.
It's a real unique scenario, isn't it, for Sharif as well, because as far as we've seen in this scene, there's been moments where a bit of history's been made. We saw the first Indian player qualify for the World Championship in Charanjit a few days ago, but when you've got a country that is just going crazy about you, Richard was saying he had a chat with Sharif. I think in the last 24 hours or so, he's gained 25,000 new followers on social media. Yesterday, he said, every time I'm refreshing my phone, I'm getting more and more Moroccans come through saying, we love you, you've made our country so proud. He just must be, this can't go any better for him at the moment.
It has to be the best week of his life. Just having your whole country being proud of you, playing in a top 8 situation in which he's playing perfectly. It seems like if he keeps it like that, it's going to be a top 4. I mean, it has to be the best week of his life, for sure.
For Abu Makkah, he had an interesting group stage just a few days ago, because it wasn't as easy as he would have liked that to be.
He's onside.
We'll talk more about that in a second. Neymar on for a third, potentially!
Wow, wow, wow.
What a performance we are seeing!
Wow. If we run it back, just before that first control was the player lock, then the finish was green. And it seems like those counter-attacks he's pushing, and he's punishing as well, because the player lock into Neymar was the perfect timing for it to not be offside. And then he's not second-guessing. Goes for near post, green, 3-0.
Yeah, the dribbling before that was also really clean. The R1 dribbling, just did it perfect to create the chance for the player lock again. I mean, I think he's the player who used the player lock the most in this tournament by far. Sure. And he's using the perfect.
Yes, as we saw from the clip that Ryan was talking about, it was not only the through ball, but first he opened up the angle with the player lock into R9, then second goal, 2 player locks, and now another player lock. Wow. We gotta go for a masterclass with him.
Start. That's interesting. The top 8 final day he's had. Abu Makkah, though, as I was saying, look, start with a big 6-0 win a couple of days ago. Then lost 8-2 against Max Kullermeyer, which was a bit of a shock result, as we were talking about. We didn't expect that performance from Max. He had a great tournament overall. Had to go on a penalty shootout against Tex to eliminate him to stay in this competition. And right now, it could be 4-0 down.
He's playing so good.
The Moroccan is causing mayhem here in Berlin.
Playing so good. You see again the goal, just the player locks. Three player locks. Three incredible player locks. And then the finish again, green, good composure. Really, really well done.
Let's see what it means.
Bassi sat there on the sidelines to be a massive part of getting Morocco on the map. Alongside good for Mr. Dory as well. They have been pushing for Morocco to have a voice in this scene. They part of the FC Pro this year. Another one. And at the moment, this guy is absolutely cooking.
But Gravison, what do you think? You like Sharif got crazy support from the Moroccans. You think that also pushes him and helps him to play his best level?
It seems like it. It seems like it because I don't think we've seen Sharif play as good as he's playing at the moment.
Yeah.
I do think sometimes maybe when people are expecting big things from you, it can get to you and you can play worse. But sometimes it can put you up.
It just teases us as well in terms of what a semi-final we've got paid for. Anders Vejrgang against Sharif for a semi-final worth $150,000. That's going to have 2 huge fan bases behind it.
I do feel like player locks could really work against Anders. It can go both ways because if you're not quick enough with the player lock, you just plays with some stones or whoever and then get the ball back. But if he's quick with those player locks, I think you can really punish Anders because he's playing good players out of position.
Yeah, I also think the same. I think Sharif got good chances to score many goals against Anders. I think how he's playing here, like, he's playing perfect. Also on defense now he's playing perfect. But
surely not fifth.
But against Anders it's not that easy to defend. So I think also Anders will score many goals. And I think in this matchup we also will see many goals if we just see it because Abu Makkah just still got 25 minutes, 4 goals, 9 minutes per half. Maybe he can do that.
It's a long time, but we just haven't seen Abu Makkah be able to get going here. In case you haven't heard, as part of this year's FC Pro World Championship, there is, of course, a jackpot of $250,000 on the line, plus that incredible trophy, but there's also some power from our FC Pro champion, because he will get to choose his own icon SBC to come into the game. And we've been asking for you to get involved at home as well with the conversation of who you want that to be. It is one icon from a selection of 6. Your answers have been coming in. Eusebio, Jarzinho, there's Mbappe, into Toni Kroos. Abu Makkah needs something to go. He's still not going to go through. Roberto Carlos, Lam. I mean, look, if you remember carefully, the Champions League, it sort of was fitting that Johnny did go for Didier Drogba in there, because he was a bit of a hero for him all the way through. There's been loads of crazy suggestions in the chat. There's been a lot of love for Samuel Eto'o, Graham. What icon you'd love to see as an icon SBC?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Samuel Eto'o pretty much demolishing the Spanish league. It was so good when he was playing at Barcelona. But again, I really loved when I was competing back in 2019-18. Eusebio striker. What an item. So maybe Eusebio.
For a bit, who would you be choosing?
I think I would just take a player like, of course, where I grew up, but also like, I'm a fan. Roberto Carlos, for example, played for Werner. Maybe I would choose him, and also maybe the players will just have their favorite clubs and just take a player from their club.
We know the community love this as well. It's an even bigger reason to get behind your favourite pro here in Berlin, because they can have a say in who could be coming into your ultimate team next. As we said, the winner today will get their own icon SBC, who will be coming into the game. Late today. Chat is going crazy about it. They've certainly got their opinions on who they would like to see. for this one now. 80 minutes away from finding our first semi-final locked in on paper. As it currently stands, it's going to be Vejrgang against Sharif. In a matchup of $150,000. Still no way through for Abu Makkah. Still can't find a way through, and you can just see the frustration coming out from him, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you know this is probably the biggest game of your life, really, and it seems like it's not going well because you're not only not playing at your best, but you had a couple of chances here. You chose the wrong post both times, and that's so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, now he's also increasing pressure, but you see, again, a mistake from Abu Makkah, and it's not easy to play. If you just have in mind, like, you're 4-0 down, you just have 15 minutes, and you need to score at least 4 goals, and you're not able to concede one, because if you just concede one, it's definitely over.
For Abu Makkah in the scenario. Maybe some nerves coming in, Rivaldo. Eventually finds a way through it, thanks to the post.
I think he just couldn't play his normal play, like how he plays normal, because normally he's really good in attack. I mean, he didn't create that many chances in that game, and as we know, Sharif is really good in the attack, that he's scoring 4 goals. I think it's normal for Sharif. And yeah, so we just had to play better in offense, create more chances, and I think that was the thing that Abu Makkah did wrong.
We're here on Saturday now in Berlin. It was on Wednesday where Sharif had to play in the play-ins. 20 players were there. Only 8 would make it through to the World Championships. He lost his first game 7-5, Gravison, in the groups, and then he went on to top the group, winning 3 games on a bounce. That put him into the World Championships on Thursday. Beat Mark, who was a runner-up in the World Championships last year, then beat K1 John on penalties to get him into the round of 16. And it was yesterday where he took down the CONMEBOL Libertadores champion, and he might be on his way to take down the Saudi Arabian champion this year as well.
Not only that, in the last match of the play-ins group stage, he scored a couple of goals in the last minutes of the game, and that put him in the first position spot. So he's clutch, and he's managed to play those really complicated minutes of the match in a perfect way.
Although this has been a real hard game for Abu Makkah, I know he's got an incredible Middle Eastern community behind him that's backing him. Team Falcon, Nemes Dasari, the man that we all know and love, his esports organisation, will be backing him to come off the back of this one. He still can't find a way through. Even with an open goal, there's just a defender that looms in the way. He has played this game perfectly.
Would you change anything, Robson, if you're Sharif? Because, like, look at his right back. He's just in the box. His left back is in his box. And he got, like, some counter-attack against him because it's the 86th minute. So I think now it's probably over. But still.
I know what you mean. Changing for the 4-2-1, 4-4-2.
Yeah, something like that. You see both fullbacks attacking.
Yeah.
Before a ball was kicked here in Berlin as well for Sharif. He just won his biggest jackpot this year of $10,000 in the Moroccan League, winning the Portola League. With this win here, he will quadruple his all-time earnings in this space. $70,000 just for getting to a top 4. What a way to mark your first season since Morocco being eligible.
I do think if you attack with both fullbacks against Anders, that's not going to work out well for you, because he's really good at punishing when you attack with just one fullback. If you attack with both, 4v2, every single attack, he's going to score every single chance he gets.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if you lose the ball in his box, I think it's okay. But if he wins the ball in your half, both fullbacks go up, he will probably score many goals.
Is he done yet? No. What's the time though on red? Added time of 2 minutes. But as we said, we'll tease it again. He's going to be out there. What a semi-final that is going to be. Vejrgang x XcharifX. Whoever's going to be louder in the chat at home, because there's going to be an incredible semi-final. What is it you can hear in Berlin? top 8 as well. Let's not forget about him. But out of the 24 that already qualified for the
I'm just so proud of myself, so proud of all the Moroccan fans, the Moroccan community, all the people who gave me the best support ever. Really, I never expected that of myself. I never seen something that before in the game. It's my first time playing on this level. The first year where Morocco has been eligible, my first opportunity to play a World Cup and rush the semi-final. That's something crazy. I still didn't believe what I'm doing, really.
Well, it might be your first time, but you look so confident out there. And you know what? We might start calling you the player lock king because the amount of player locks that we've seen in that game is insane. Is that a vital part of your gameplay?
Yeah, the player lock is something necessary in my gameplay. I played with player lock since 2 years ago. I know I do the player lock best way possible, and that helped me a lot to win the games.
All right, well, the quarterfinals are over. You're going through, but you do have Anders up next. How do you fare your chances against that one?
Anders, I played against him on the first of the year in the FC Pro Open. I lost 3-2, but what can I say? Now it's time for the revenge.
The revenge. Well, we love to see it. We know that's going to be a fantastic matchup. You have all these fans behind you and back home in Morocco, so I'll let you sit back, relax, but you have another very tough game right around the corner, and let's see what FG thought about these last few matchups.
Thank you very much, Casey. I'm still getting my breath back, to be honest, because if that was our first round of quarterfinals, and that was two absolutely amazing games. First thing,